From being settled in 1699 to the decision to become an independent city in 1948, democracy has been at the center of Falls Church's identity. At 250 years since the founding of the United States of America, here are the current and former mayor's thoughts on the impact of local democracy.
Well, first of all, it's super humbling to be mayor during this time. It reminds me that Falls Church is just a really tiny bit of a long, much bigger history. And so it's super gratifying to be in government at any time, but also in a place like small city, like Falls Church, where we know that democracy lives strong today.
Local democracy, local government is really kind of where the rubber hits the road. You know, it's a place where you can talk to, meet, get together with your elected leaders. It's a place where you can be engaged and have meaningful interactions with government and other folks in the community. And so I think it really is the place where democracy is kind of maybe its purest form here in America right now.
I think one of the things that's most interesting about our community is that there's always been a significant civic mindedness about the individuals that live here. I believe very strongly that all politics is local. And again, I think that 1948 decision drove the fact that if we control our destiny, we control our environment. We have the ability to control what happens with our citizens, what happens with our community, and ultimately what happens over the long term with respect to our community. There's a very interesting dynamic going on now between national politics and local politics. Again, what drove this community was making sure that your voice could be heard and that your vote would be important in our community.
Well, I think the basic question of defining values is absolutely fundamental to this community throughout its history. And those defining values are represented by the portraits that we now have in city council chambers. We've had for many, many years the portraits of the founders of the country, and that symbolizes our commitment to a democratic, free government. The portraits behind me symbolize the value in this community in terms of inclusiveness. So we don't care who you are. What we care about is, do you share our values, and are we committed to working for the benefit of the entire community? From the time I first served here till now, we have a community that is second to none in terms of what our people are doing to shape the nation and to shape the world. And so I have always felt a humbleness about being able to serve them and an absolute commitment that my job on City Council is to make sure they have the government and the schools infrastructure that they need to do the job for the benefit of the people of the United States and the world.
It is not about staying frozen in time. I think oftentimes people think about keeping Falls Church the way it is, and the world is continuing to move, and it is our choice and our destiny to figure out how we're going to move with it. Do we stay frozen, or do we get a choice in how we want to move forward? And I think Falls Church has demonstrated that you can actually keep all the great things about being a small town with all the big conveniences of living in a big city. So our biggest challenge, I think, is balancing affordability with quality of life. I think that is a common regional and national issue now, between high housing costs and price of food and everything else. That has been really important to our residents. And I think coupled with really high expectations for great quality schools, being able to pay our workers competitively, and balancing that with affordability is always a challenge.
I think that will also continue to be an issue for the city because, as everybody knows, it costs a lot to live here, a lot to own here. And if we can actually provide some affordable housing in more numbers than what we're getting now, I think that that would be a major improvement for the city.
I hope we continue to be as vibrant and inclusive. I hope we continue doing a good job of living up to our values. We espouse values of being progressive and welcoming community, and the challenge is always making sure that the projects, the budgets, all the things that we commit ourselves to doing match those values. And so I look forward to Falls Church where we can welcome back students who've graduated and grew up here to be able to come back and afford to live in the community, seniors who can afford to stay in town, that we have safe streets for walking and biking, that we have economically vibrant downtown with great small businesses. And ultimately our identity is about its people. At the end of the day, we are still 2.5 square miles, and what is special and unique about Falls Church is the people you can see in the street, in the community, and the character that lives on regardless of the growth that happens. And so I think it's exactly places like Falls Church where we are living the American experiment of how do we make it better for the next generation. And so I think that's a responsibility that we all feel. And collectively, if we all feel that responsibility, hopefully we are building a better America as well.